Hairbrushes to use based on your hair type. This is a hairbrush. This is a hairbrush. This is a hairbrush. This is a hairbrush. This is a mini hairbrush. Is this for dolls? Don't worry. I'm going to explain to you every single hairbrush, what it can do for you and what's best for your hair type.
She's got humor. She just one of a kind.
So if you've ever done anything to your hair, or if you've ever gone to a salon to get something done to your hair, most likely you're going to start with a hairbrush. But then even when you're going to get to styling, you're going to need a hairbrush. But then even if you want to part your hair, you're going to need some form of a hair tool to be able to aid you that, because hands are only going to get you so far. But with so much on the market and so much information going around everywhere, especially when it comes to what you need for your curls, what do you need for your roots, what do you need for your hair type, for your hair length, for the style that you want, it can be very, very difficult to understand what you need. So today I want to sit down with you and explain to you, as someone who owns a brand that literally only sells hairbrushes. Let's get into it. Regardless of what length your hair is, texture your hair is, or type your hair is, you're going to need to start with one particular thing before any single transformation, styling, whatever. You're going to need a detangling tool. This is usually going to be a tool that has many teeth so that it is able to effectively and efficiently detangle any knots in your hair. The market is full of brushes claiming to be detangling, claiming to be damage-free, claiming to be pain-free. So which one are actually worth it? If you have fine or damaged hair, look for something like a paddle brush that has a very large surface area but has soft bristles. This is going to prevent the bristles from snagging on your hair, but the large surface area is also going to help detangle effectively and quickly because there are more teeth for the tool you are using. Avoid using something like a comb or something with a single row of bristles or teeth, because this isn't going to detangle. It's simply going to compress the knot into one very tight area of your head, and it's not going to be a pain-free experience. Something with soft cushioning is going to give the most gentle and pain-free result because your head is resting against a cushion instead of hard plastic. Detangling purposes, something like this is going to get you much further than something like this. If you have thicker, coarser, or denser hair, look for a paddle brush that has very long bristles and once again are nylon instead of boar. This brush can be very effective when you have very afro thick 4C hair because it is able to snake through the hair very quickly. However, it is mostly recommended to use on wet hair. Paddle brushes with very flexible or bendy teeth are also not going to get you very far because it's simply not going to have enough tensile strength within the bristles to efficiently and properly detangle. So look for a paddle brush that has medium to strong bristles that are able to effectively and quickly detangle very thick hair. From our brush has very gentle bristles that simply do not have the strength to properly detangle very thick or coarse hair, versus the Stellari brushes have very strong durable bristles but still have ball-tipped bristles, meaning it can efficiently and properly detangle without pain. Soft cushioning also means that this thing is going to mold to your head. In this case, only the bristles bend, meaning that the cushion wouldn't really be able to give comfort to the user when using it because it doesn't have any give. When brushing your hair, especially when you're detangling, the rule of thumb is to never brush when wet. Hair is at its weakest when it is wet, and it is able to snap 30% more when it is wet because it's in a much more fragile state. What do we use when our hair is wet or when we're washing it? Brushes like these can be very effective for when you're washing or brushing your hair in the shower. This one is actually a scalp brush. It is meant to stimulate your scalp whilst you are washing your hair and get rid of any buildup on your scalp. But this is going to be extremely ineffective at detangling the hair because the bristles or the teeth are simply too thick. It is also silicone, which is again designed for the scalp, but it isn't going to be able to effectively detangle. Something like this has a much better ability to detangle in the shower, but it is not going to be the most comfortable because the bristles are very sharp and it has the potential of scratching your scalp. This would be mostly effective to distribute conditioners through your hair. A vented brush or a brush like this one can be very effective to detangle and distribute product through the hair. However, these kinds of brushes cannot be used for scalp cleaning or stimulation because the bristles are simply too dense and tough for it, and they also don't have a ball tip, meaning it can scratch or open up the scalp. If your paddle brush has a central vent like this one, you can use it to detangle in the shower as well as stimulates your scalp, and use the vent to drain out any water. If you are detangling wet hair, always detangle with product. Act as a lubricant to prevent the hair from breaking. What about styling? Stylists will most likely have a large variety of styling brushes when they are doing your hair, and you will see them grab a variety for many different techniques. Paddle brushes are super effective if you want to blast dry the hair. Blast drying is something that is done usually prior to a blow dry or a blowout, when a brush is used to facilitate hair drying to get the hair to around 70 to 80% dry, so that the remainder of the blow dry can go through very smoothly and the hair isn't sloppy wet. It also helps the hair to smooth and straighten a tiny bit so that the stylist has less work to do. And especially if you are styling your hair at home, this can be a very, very good trick or technique to smooth and style the hair before you do your finishing touches, as it'll save you so much time. If you're using a pedal brush to speed up drying times as well as smooth out your hair, make sure that the bristles are heat resistant. Most brands will tell you if they are suitable to use with heat or not, but you can also tell by the density of the bristle. If you are shopping for a brush and you are looking for something that is suitable with heat, make sure you look out for the sign on their website, the packaging, or else visually assess the bristles to make sure that they are strong and sturdy enough to withstand heat from a traditional hairdryer. Styling round brushes are going to be the most common brushes used to get any sort of a blowout. These will be completely round or radial brushes of varying widths and thicknesses, and usually using a variety of nylon or boar bristle teeth or bristles to get the most beautiful, stylish, smooth finish. These two are able to get a very, very bouncy 90s looking blowout with very, very loose, big, voluminous waves to give a very bouncy blowout effect. This brush is very, very effective at hitting the root directly or blow drying very, very short hair. The most important thing is having a large variety of widths in your brushes, be able to tackle multiple hair lengths, types, and textures without needing to borrow someone else's. Finishing brushes. When hair tends to frizz, it tends to frizz from the most visible portion, meaning the external portion of the hair. In that case, we don't necessarily need a brush with bristles to reach all the way through the hair. We just need something that is able to tackle the surface. Like this is great if we want to very gently just smooth out the top of the hair, or if we want to get a very shiny ponytail hair up effect without disrupting the hair underneath. Spraying a light amount of hairspray directly on this, ensure that at the same time as smoothing, it is also gluing down any loose stray hairs or baby hair. Inside a stylist kit, you'll normally also find these two hairbrushes. Backcombing brushes or teasing brushes are literally as they are called. These are used not to detangle the hair, but rather to compress and backcomb or backbrush all the hair to build volume. These normally have very, very fine nylon bristles, very, very compressed together, almost like a toothbrush, because this is what's going to snag the hair and push it down towards the root. It can be a bit controversial because if done incorrectly, backbrushing and backcombing can cause a lot of teasing. So the rule of thumb is, instead of going very, very quickly and sharply, comb the hair down using gentle long sweeps, so that when it comes to brushing through, you're able to then just once again take that existing hair and pull it back up. Rat tail combs are very, very efficient at sectioning and flattening the hair. This is great if you want a very, very strong parting, if you're combing through wet hair, or if you want a very flattened effect. There are many, many different brushes that you can buy on the market, but hopefully this explained what every single one of them does and what they can be used for. But in my personal opinion, the only one that you need is the paddle brush. It is the best one for detangling. It can provide a very, very pain-free, damage-free, break-free detangling. If you get the right one, you can use it with heat, meaning it can be paired with your hairdryer to create a very quick blow dry or gentle smoothing. If you have very thick, coarse, or dense hair, it is the best one because it's got such a large head, meaning it can gather large amounts of hair very effectively. Something like this has a much, much smaller surface area, meaning you're going to need to run this through your hair much more frequently to get anywhere near the same experience as this one. These ones are the ones that I created for my brand. They are the universal best tool for all the things I just mentioned, but obviously there are many on the market, and at the end of the day, it is up to you what is also a big priority for you. I paired mine with a bit of extra flair and kick because I really love admiring and looking at my tools as I use them. And I also have the very signature twisted handle, both for ergonomics and design. I'm going to be linking all of the brushes down below, and I also urge you to sign up to my newsletter for my brand because something exciting is about to drop and launch, and I cannot wait for you guys to get hands on it. So because I love you guys, I'll probably be giving you an incredible discount that you can use, but don't tell anyone. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to this channel, join the Stellar fam, let's learn a thing or two together. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll give it a go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!